Imagine you're the CEO of a billion-dollar software company. You've got engineers, you've got investors, you've got a very expensive espresso machine in the lobby, and apparently you've got a spy. Not a metaphorical spy, not a we keep an eye on competitors spy, a literally called our spy in writing, in an email that you sent with your name on it. Today we're talking about one of the most audacious corporate espionage cases in tech history, where a software giant recruited a mole, ran a secret operation with an actual codename, and then somehow forgot that discovery exists. This is Project Crush, and brother, it absolutely crushed them. Hi there, it's me, your legal spy. Every week I bring you the biggest, messiest, most jaw-dropping cases of industrial espionage from the real world. And before we go any further, all the public document sources for today's story are linked in the description, because I already know what you're thinking. This can't be real. It is. Every word. Now, without any further delay, let's get into it. Alright, let's rewind to the early 2010s. The enterprise software market is basically the Wild West, except instead of gold, everyone's fighting over government contracts. Federal agencies, state governments, big corporations, they all need software to manage their workflows, and they're willing to pay a lot for it. Two of the biggest players in this space are Appian and Pegasystems, or Pega as the cool kids call them. Appian is the scrappy underdog. Founded in 1999, headquartered in Virginia, they build low-code automation platforms. Solid company, good reputation. They're not flashy, but they're good at what they do. Pega is the established giant. Founded in 1983 by a guy named Alan Trefler, who is, fun fact, also a chess grandmaster, which you'd think would make him good at thinking 10 moves ahead. Spoiler, it did not. These two companies are constantly going head-to-head for contracts, and somewhere around 2012, Pega decided that competing fairly was optional. Here's where it gets good. There was a government contractor, we'll call him the guy, because that's basically what he was. A guy with access to Appian software through a legitimate business relationship. Appian, being a normal company that wanted to win customers, had given this contractor access to a free trial of their platform. Standard stuff. You let people kick the tires, maybe they buy the car. What Appian did not anticipate was that this particular tire kicker was about to hand the keys to the competition. Because Pega, and this is the part where you should sit up straight, recruited him. They called him, and I want you to really absorb this, our spy, those words. In an email sent by executives at a company with a legal department. Now, I've seen some questionable business decisions in my time, but putting the word spy in a corporate email is the professional equivalent of robbing a bank and then mailing the security footage to the FBI with a thank you note. So what exactly was this contractor doing? From 2012 to 2014, he was feeding Pegasystems detailed intelligence about Appian software, architecture, development environment details, how their platform was built under the hood. The kind of stuff that takes years and millions of dollars to develop, and Pega wasn't just filing this away for a rainy day. They were using it actively. One of the most damning parts of this story is what Pega executives allegedly did with the intelligence. They used it to shape RFPs. For the uninitiated, an RFP is a request for proposal. Basically, when a government agency or big company puts out a document saying, hey, we need software, tell us what you've got. The company that wins the RFP gets the contract. And here's the thing about RFPs. Whoever writes the requirements document has enormous power. If you can influence what the requirements look like, you can essentially rig the game before it starts. So picture this. A federal agency puts out an RFP for enterprise software. Pega, armed with inside knowledge of exactly where Appian is weak, quietly ensures the requirements highlight those weaknesses. Appian shows up to the bid, having no idea the playing field was already tilted. It's like running a race where your competitor secretly designed the obstacle course. Now, every good spy operation needs a code name. The CIA has Operation Paperclip. The KGB had Operation Ryan. The Nazis had Operation Sea Lion. Pegasystems had Project Crush, which, I'll be honest, is kind of a baller name for a corporate espionage operation. It's direct. It's confident. It communicates exactly what you're trying to do to your competitor. It also communicates exactly what you're trying to do to your competitor in writing, which is where the confidence becomes hubris. The question you're probably asking yourself right now is, how did any of this come out? Litigation. Beautiful, brutal, all revealing litigation. When Appian sued Pegasystems in Virginia State Court for trade secret theft, their lawyers got to do something called discovery, the legal process where both sides have to hand over internal documents, emails, and communications. And when Pega's documents came out, oh boy, there were internal emails using the word spy explicitly. Not euphemistically, not in air quotes, not as a joke, just casually, matter-of-factly, referring to this contractor as our spy. And some of these emails came from the CEO, Alan Trefler, chess grandmaster, strategic mastermind. Guy who apparently never received the memo that don't put criminal conspiracy in writing is business ethics 101. When this stuff surfaced in court, you could practically hear the lawyers' souls leaving their bodies. The case went to a Virginia jury in 2022. Now, Virginia juries are not known for being particularly gentle with defendants, and when you walk into court with a paper trail that literally uses the word spy to describe your spy, you're not in a strong position. Appian's legal team painted a picture of systematic, deliberate, multi-year corporate espionage designed to destroy a competitor through stolen intelligence. They showed the emails, they showed the timeline, they showed the pattern. Pega's defense argued that Appian was exaggerating damages and that the whole thing was overblown. The jury was not convinced. After deliberation, they came back with a verdict. 2,860,45 tons. $2 billion. $2 billion. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the GDP of a small island nation. It's enough to buy every employee at Pega a very nice house. It's the kind of number that makes CEOs pass out in their ergonomic chairs. At the time, it was one of the largest trade secret verdicts in American history. The contractor who started all this by logging into a free trial is hopefully living a very quiet life. And somewhere in a boardroom, a legal team is probably still having nightmares about the word spy. If you want more stories about corporate chaos, billion-dollar disasters, and executives making absolutely baffling decisions, subscribe, because we've got plenty more where this came from.